So I'm reading right now The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. It's my first Hemingway book, by the way, but I'm like literally 3 chapters in, so I don't want to say, if I'm enjoying it too much or not yet. But the title itself, I just really love. That's actually why I chose this book. I know The Old Man and the Sea is a little bit more well-known, but I was like, I want to start with this because the sun rising has always been a metaphor that I've just really liked, right? Like, I don't know if it's a metaphor or a symbol. I know it's kind of considered to be a universal symbol, if I'm not wrong. I'll be referring to it here as a metaphor just, because I don't know, it's just the easiest for me. But you know what I mean. The motif, the idea of the sun rising has always been something I've really liked. And it started with, and this is crazy to say, but you guys know that I am a huge nerd at this point, so I'll say it, the anime One Piece, actually. I first experienced One Piece when I was in, oh my god, it was very early high school, I want to say, is when I first got into the series. And from the start, there's all this symbolism about the sun rising. One Piece is a story about this guy trying to find this treasure. He wants to be the Pirate King. Realistically, though, it's a story about freedom, right? I think that's what I feel about One Piece. I feel it's a story about freedom, and the sun rising motif is a huge part of that. From the start, actually, the first chapter is named Romance Dawn. And, the idea of the world being free from the oppressive government of choice in the series is often referred to as the dawn, right? And from there, I've just been absolutely obsessed with it. I started actually too, once I read One Piece for the first time, this is crazy to admit, I started waking up every morning to watch the sunrise because I thought that it would give me hope for life if I watched the sunrise every morning. It kind of did, but okay, so part of it was because I was still in high school, so it was a little bit easy to wake up an extra 30 minutes early. If I'm already waking up at 6, let's just do 5:30 and watch the sunrise today. So that was definitely a part of it. But I also just really thought it would change my life if I watched the sunrise every morning. And it didn't suck, that's for sure. Whenever I'm going through a dark kind of period, not that I've ever gone through anything extremely dark, but whenever I'm going through a down period, I'm sad, maybe I'm struggling with something, I often say to myself, the sun will rise, the sun rises tomorrow kind of thing. And I always mean it to myself in 2 ways. One, with the degree of hope. You guys know hope's a big thing for me. I say it kind of in that regard of the sun will rise tomorrow, and tomorrow will be a new day, tomorrow's gonna be a better day. You guys know how I always say that I have an immense amount of hope for tomorrow, and that's definitely one of the ways that it manifests in this sun rising, what's when you say something, mantra, this sun rising mantra is when I'm the sun will rise tomorrow. It's also, though, in relation to this line in a Kanye song, ouch, should not probably be talking about him, but this was 2020, Kanye, when he, on Praise God, he has a speech from his mom in there, where she goes, even if you're not ready for the day, it cannot always be night. And I don't really know what that means, but just all this stuff paints such a complete photo for me in my mind, I think just how I was talking about humanity and that emotion I get around humanity the other day, right? And how it's and kind of just a series of images that paint an emotion for me more than anything else. I would say the sun rising is a very similar idea to me, right? Because I can't say how her quote about the light coming relates to, One Piece, and I can't say how that relates to the Ernest Hemingway novel. I don't even know what they mean by the sun also rises in the title of that novel. I haven't gotten to that part of the book yet. So they could be saying it in the worst way. I could really not like how it's phrased by the end of this book, right? But the idea of, this certain light coming with tomorrow, it makes the idea of hope that you guys know I'm very into, it makes hope seem more yellow than blue to me. And blue is the color associated with hope, by the way, if that talked about that in the other episode. But so yeah, if hope is blue, to me it turns to this sort of yellow when I imagine a hopeful and free future. You know, when I think about hope, I imagine blue, but when I think about a hopeful and free future all at once, I imagine yellow, which is weird, right? Because I want the future to be free for myself and everyone no matter what, you know? So that would kind of be inherent. But why are they separate? I don't know, but I think it's interesting at the very least, I guess. I don't know. I think that having this idea in mind that, like, whether there's this quote that I think about sometimes, it's like history will happen whether you're a part of it or not, right? And I think that the sun, me being like the sun will rise tomorrow, is kind of me almost saying that to myself, right? Of like, tomorrow will happen whether I'm okay with it or not. Tomorrow is coming, right? Whether I'm ready or not, tomorrow is coming. The future will be here with or without me, and I want to be there, right? Oh my god, the brushes just fell all over my pants, and there's probably some red on these jeans now. That's a problem for after this recording. Yes, there is. Okay, so we're gonna work on that after. For now, we're gonna finish this painting, because I knew this was gonna happen one day in one of these 365 episodes, and I promised myself, because I know, and I do right now, I want to stop the recording and be like, I'll redo this. But I promised myself that, like, no, I'm aiming to make this a real series. I need to like show when those brushes fall, which you can't even see it because they're over there. But I need to just like keep that in, because that's part of this being a real series. Anyways, we're finishing up with painting fast now. But I think that's how the sun rising to me relates to the quote of like, even if you're not ready for the day, it cannot always be night. Because I think both those things are just like facts, right? Even if I'm not ready for tomorrow, tomorrow will come. Whether I'm here for the future or not, the future will be here, right? And I think that's where I think the title of The Sun Also Rises stood out to me so much, because it's like I don't know why. It has that same sense of occurrence that's coming no matter what, as the idea of the tomorrow coming whether I'm ready or not for it, right? And I think that's really, it's not so much inspiring as much as it feels like a call to action to me, of like, tomorrow's coming, the sun's rising in the morning, no matter what today is, tomorrow will look like that sunrise, right? And even if tomorrow is worse than today, even if it's just as shitty as today, right? I will always remember those days of me when I was a 9th grader looking out the window, seeing the sunrise and seeing how bright it was, and being like, this is a beautiful sight. And that's something to me. That the fact that like no matter what tomorrow brings, there will be a beautiful moment in the morning to start it. I won't be awake for it. I'm not really awake for the sunrise like that, but like it's gonna be there, you know? And there's something about that just like infers to me like the future will be beautiful one way or another. Maybe it won't be what I want it to be. Maybe it'll be worse than today, but there will still be beauty in the future. Like beauty will always stand, and hope will be in that beauty. Anyways, these are the cherries I painted. I think this might be a sub 10-minute episode of Paint&Talk, the very first one. That's a real possibility here, but I do have paint everywhere right now, and I'm gonna look, I don't know if you can see that, but so yeah, this has been a moment in Paint&Talk. The sun rose in the brushes. The thing that I knew was gonna happen one day happened. See, wait, that's kind of like, if you think about it though, like, isn't that something? The fact that I'm talking about an occurrence happening that I know will happen no matter what tomorrow brings. And I always thought about the brushes falling on my leg being like, that will happen no matter what, one day. Because I always put my leg right there and like it almost knocks me over every day. It's definitely a lot less deep than I'm making it, but like it's cool too. I'm just really trying to cope about these brushes falling on me. Anyways, this is the painting. Go check it out on the Instagram. I want to do some cherries today. I'm recording right after, oh my god, I just got on the sweatshirt too. I'm recording right after yesterday's because I just needed to get 2 in because tomorrow I won't be able to. So Oh, I forgot, I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about the paint on me. I had the same colors from the palette and the same brushes, so I was like, let's use the same color scheme and do some cherries. And it looks nice next to the apples, right? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Paint and Talk episode 46. Until tomorrow, guys, gals, and pals, this has been Paint and Talk episode 46. I'm here every morning, painting and talking with you all. I'm gonna go clean this.